Good morning, dear friends. Have you ever heard the saying, start your day with a glass of water? It's the healthiest thing you can do. Well, in many ways, that's true. Drinking water in the morning can help wake up your body, refresh your mind, and get your system moving. But what most people don't realize, especially as we get older, is that how you drink that water matters just as much as the fact that you drink it. You see, as we age, our bodies go through changes. Things that used to feel fine in our 30s or 40s may start to feel a little different in our 60s, 70s, or beyond. And that's not a bad thing. It just means we need to treat our bodies with a little more care and attention. Our heart works a little harder, our digestion slows down, our muscles and nerves become more sensitive. So even something as simple as a glass of water, if not taken the right way, can actually make us feel uncomfortable. In this video, we're going to walk through 5 common mistakes that many seniors make when drinking water first thing in the morning. Most of these are small habits. We don't even think about them. But over time, they can quietly affect how we feel, not just in the morning, but all day long. You might be wondering, it's just water. How could it be harmful? But that's exactly why this is so important to talk about. It's the everyday things, the simple daily habits, that can either support our health or slowly wear it down. The good news is, once we know better, we can do better. These 5 mistakes are easy to fix. No fancy equipment, no strict rules, just gentle, thoughtful changes that make mornings more comfortable and our bodies a little happier. Whether you're someone who's always been mindful of your health or you're just now starting to pay more attention, this video is for you. It's not about fear, it's about awareness, about tuning in and listening to what your body is quietly asking for. So grab a warm drink, find a cozy seat, and let's begin. Your health matters, your comfort matters, and making a few small changes today could help you feel stronger, clearer, and more at ease, starting tomorrow morning. Let's take care of ourselves, one gentle habit at a time. So now that we've settled in, let's talk about the first mistake. And this one might surprise you. Mistake number 1, drinking ice-cold water. First thing in the morning, we've all been there. You wake up, your throat feels dry, and the first thing you do is head to the fridge. You grab a glass, pour some cold water, maybe even with ice, and take a big, refreshing sip. At first, it feels great, cold, crisp, and clean. It seems like the perfect way to shock yourself awake, right? But here's the thing, that icy water might be doing more harm than good, especially first thing in the morning, and especially for older adults. Why cold water can be a shock to your system. When we sleep, our body slows down. Our heart rate drops, our digestion pauses, and our blood vessels gently tighten. In other words, our internal engines go into rest mode. Then morning comes, and instead of easing into the day, we drop freezing cold water into our stomachs. It's kind of like throwing a bucket of cold water on a warm engine. The system tightens, contracts, and goes on alert. For younger people, their bodies might bounce back quickly, but for those of us in our 60s, 70s, or 80s, our systems tend to be more sensitive, more reactive, and that kind of sudden cold shock can trigger some uncomfortable symptoms. How cold water affects the body. Let's break it down. Stomach cramps. Cold water causes the stomach muscles to contract. That can lead to discomfort, cramping, or even nausea, especially if your stomach is empty. Circulation problems. Cold causes blood vessels to constrict. For seniors with slower circulation, that can leave you feeling cold in the hands and feet or even cause a lightheaded sensation. Digestive slowdown. Your digestion is still waking up in the morning. Cold water can temporarily slow it down even more, making it harder to digest breakfast or absorb nutrients. Respiratory stress. Some people feel tightness in the chest or shortness of breath right after drinking ice water. It's subtle but real. A real-life story, Eleanor's experience. Let me tell you about Eleanor. She's 76 years old, sharp, active, and very disciplined about her health. For years, she believed that drinking a glass of cold water in the morning helped her stay alert. It made her throat feel clear and gave her a jolt to start the day. But slowly, she started noticing some strange things. Her hands would feel cold long after breakfast. Her stomach would feel tight or bloated, even though she ate small, healthy meals. And some mornings, she just felt a little off. Not sick, but not right either. She brushed it off until her doctor asked about her morning routine. When she mentioned that she always drank cold water from the fridge, her doctor gently suggested trying room temperature water for a week just to see how her body responded. And guess what? After just a few days, Eleanor noticed a difference. Her stomach felt calmer, her digestion improved, and her mornings felt more comfortable. That small change, just letting the water warm up a bit, made a big impact. Why room temperature water works better? Room temperature water is gentler. It doesn't shock the stomach or constrict blood vessels. Instead, it helps ease your body into the day, allowing your internal systems to wake up gradually and naturally. It also supports digestion, encourages better circulation, prevents throat irritation, feels easier to drink slowly, which is important. We'll talk about that in mistake number 2. Think of it this way, your body has been resting all night. Why jolt it with cold water when you can gently nourish it with something soothing? What if you prefer chilled water? Now, we know some folks just love the crisp feeling of cold water, especially in hot climates. If that's you and you really don't want to give it up, try this instead. Pour your water the night before and leave it on the counter. In the morning, it will be room temp but still taste fresh. Or use lukewarm water. You can mix half a cup of cool with half a cup of hot. You can even add a slice of lemon or cucumber to give it flavor without making it colder. It's all about balance and comfort. A gentle practice to try tomorrow morning. Here's a simple practice you can try tomorrow. 1. After you wake up, take a moment to sit upright and breathe slowly. 2. Reach for your glass of room temperature water, maybe from a clean glass bottle on your nightstand or the kitchen counter. 3. Take a small sip. Pause. Breathe. Then sip again. 4. Let your body receive the water slowly and gently. 5. Notice how it feels. Notice if your stomach stays relaxed, if your hands feel steady, if your energy feels calm but alert. This tiny ritual, just a few mindful sips, can help set a gentle, healthy tone for your whole day. Final thought for mistake number 1. It's not that cold water is bad. It's that cold water at the wrong time, especially when your body is just waking up, can be a little too harsh. As we age, our bodies ask for a bit more kindness. They need warmth, rhythm, and a little extra time. A simple change like switching from ice-cold water to room temperature water might seem small, but the effect on your digestion, circulation, and comfort can be big. So tomorrow morning, instead of that cold jolt, offer your body something soothing. Your stomach, your heart, your nerves, they'll thank you for it. And when you're ready, let's move on to mistake number 2, a habit that's even more common than cold water, drinking too fast. So now that we've talked about the temperature of your water and how that small change can bring big comfort, let's look at the next mistake, which is actually one of the most common. Even if you're drinking the perfect room temperature water, if you're drinking it too fast, you could still be putting stress on your body without realizing it. Mistake number 2, drinking water too fast or in big gulps. Let me ask you something. Have you ever woken up in the morning feeling thirsty, maybe even a little dry in the mouth, and reached straight for that glass of water, then drank the whole thing in one go? Maybe you thought, let me get it over with, or I need to flush out my system. It's a very common habit. Most of us don't think twice about it. But here's the gentle truth. Chugging water first thing in the morning, especially when your body is just waking up, can cause more harm than good, particularly for older adults. What happens when you drink too fast? You see, after a full night's sleep, your body is still transitioning from rest to wakefulness. Your heart rate is gently rising, blood pressure is adjusting, kidneys are starting to regulate fluids again, and your digestive system is still in sleep mode. So when we suddenly flood the system with a full glass of water, especially all at once, it's a little like turning the faucet on full blast while the pipes are still warming up. Everything gets overwhelmed. Here are some common effects of drinking too fast. Stomach bloating or tightness, nausea or queasiness, a strange fluttering feeling in the chest, lightheadedness or dizziness, feeling off or uncomfortable for hours after. And here's the key. Most people don't even connect those symptoms to how they drank water. They think it's something else, maybe the weather or their medication, or just getting older. But often it's this simple habit of rushing. Walter's story, the power of slowing down. Let me tell you about Walter. He's 72, a retired gym teacher who always prided himself on sticking to a healthy routine. Every morning, before even getting out of bed, he'd drink an entire 500 milliliter water bottle in one go. He thought he was being disciplined, starting the day strong. But not long after, he started experiencing something strange. Some mornings he'd feel dizzy. His stomach would feel full and tight, even though he hadn't eaten yet. Other times he felt a little shaky or short of breath. He thought it might be his heart or maybe his blood sugar, but after talking with his doctor, the truth came out. It was the water, not what he drank, but how he drank it. So Walter made a small change. Instead of chugging a bottle of water in 10 seconds, he started sipping slowly. He'd sit up, take small sips over 15-20 minutes, and listen to his body. And just like that, the dizziness disappeared. The bloating stopped. His mornings felt calmer and more stable. No medicine needed, no complicated treatments, just a change in habit. Why sipping slowly is better. Sipping slowly gives your body a chance to process the water gradually, gently wake up the digestive system, allow your kidneys to adjust fluid balance at a steady pace. Avoid the uncomfortable rush of bloating or nausea. And for older adults, this becomes especially important. Our bodies become more sensitive to sudden changes. Our kidneys, liver, and heart all appreciate a slower, steadier rhythm. Think of it like watering a delicate plant. You wouldn't dump a whole bucket of water on it in 1 second. You'd pour slowly, giving the soil time to absorb. Your body is the same way. A gentle morning practice. Tomorrow morning, try this. 1. After waking up, sit up slowly. Don't rush to stand. 2. Take a few deep breaths. Stretch if you can. 3. Pour yourself a glass of room temperature or lukewarm water. 4. Take a small sip, pause, and swallow. 5. Continue sipping over 10 to 15 minutes as you get ready for your day. You could drink while sitting near a window, listening to soft music, or just enjoying the quiet. This moment of slow hydration not only helps your body, it can also become a peaceful little ritual to start your day with calm and care. A word about coffee. Now, some folks like to follow water with a hot cup of coffee, and that's okay. But here's a gentle reminder. Try to let your body fully absorb the water before pouring caffeine on top of it. Coffee is a diuretic. It pulls water from your system. So if you're already dehydrated and you rush through your water, then quickly drink coffee, you might undo the good effects of your hydration. Wait 20-30 minutes if you can. Let the water settle in. Final thought for mistake number 2. Drinking water is one of the kindest gifts you can give your body each morning. But like many things in life, it's not just what you do, it's how you do it. When you slow down, when you sip gently, your body receives that gift more fully. You start your day not with a jolt or discomfort, but with ease, balance, and presence. So tomorrow, instead of chugging your water and rushing off, give yourself the gift of slowness. Let your morning be calm, let your body guide you, and you might find that the rest of your day flows a little more gently too. And now that you know how speed matters, in the next part, we'll talk about mistake number 3, something hiding in plain sight on many nightstands. Plastic bottles. Let's keep going. So we've covered temperature and speed. Now let's talk about something that might be sitting quietly by your bed right now, a simple plastic water bottle. It seems harmless, even helpful. Many people like to keep a bottle of water by the bed so they can take a sip in the middle of the night or first thing in the morning. But what if I told you that leaving water in plastic bottles overnight, especially in a warm room, could actually be doing more harm than good? This brings us to the third mistake, drinking water that's been sitting in plastic bottles overnight. At first glance, it doesn't seem like a big deal. After all, it's just water, right? Clear, tasteless, and still in the same bottle you used yesterday. But when it comes to plastic, what we don't see is just as important as what we do. Let me explain. Plastic bottles, especially the kind we reuse again and again, can leach chemicals into the water over time. And this process happens faster when the bottle is left in a warm room or placed near a lamp, a window with sunlight, or even beside a warm body overnight. One of the most well-known of these chemicals is called BPA, or bisphenol A. It's found in many plastics, especially older or cheaper bottles. BPA is what's known as an endocrine disruptor, meaning it can interfere with your body's natural hormone system. And even small amounts can have a long-term effect, especially if you're drinking from that same bottle day after day. Now, some bottles today say BPA-free, and that's a good step. But research shows that even BPA-free plastics can contain similar chemicals that may act the same way in the body. So the concern doesn't just go away because of a label. For older adults, this matters more than people often realize. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to hormonal changes. Maybe you're already taking medications to support your thyroid, blood sugar, or blood pressure. When your body is already working hard to stay balanced, adding even a small, consistent source of chemical interference, like leached plastic, can quietly tip the scale in the wrong direction. Let me tell you about Stanley. He's 78, a retired librarian, thoughtful and well-read. He was always good about staying hydrated. Every night he'd fill a plastic bottle from the kitchen faucet, set it by his bed, and sip it in the morning before heading out for his walk. But over time, he noticed a few strange things. He started waking up with headaches. His digestion felt off. And even though he was sleeping through the night, he often felt tired in the mornings. He changed his pillow, his diet, even his walking schedule. Nothing helped. Eventually, during a conversation with a nutritionist, Stanley mentioned his water habit. That's when the light bulb went off. The bottle he was using was a reused plastic sports bottle, several years old, and he often left it near a lamp on his nightstand. That combination of time, warmth, and plastic was likely introducing chemicals into his water. So Stanley switched to a glass bottle. Nothing fancy, just a clean, clear container. He filled it fresh each morning and rinsed it every night. And after about 2 weeks, he started to feel better. His headaches became less frequent. His energy came back. And that vague off feeling started to lift. It wasn't magic, it was just a simple change in the container he used. Now, does this mean one sip of water from a plastic bottle will hurt you? No, the body is strong. But when we repeat that habit every single day, over months, even years, it adds up. And for seniors, whose organs are already doing a lot of work behind the scenes, that extra burden can be quietly draining. Think about your liver. It's your body's filter. Everything you eat or drink, every medication, every chemical you absorb, it all passes through the liver. Over time, even a small amount of unwanted chemicals in your water can add to the liver's workload, making it harder for your body to process medications, digest food, or manage energy. Your kidneys, too, are constantly filtering your fluids. And your hormones, well, they're like messengers that keep everything in sync. When plastic chemicals mimic or block those messages, the system becomes confused. So what can we do? It's actually very simple. First, switch to glass or stainless steel bottles. These materials don't leach chemicals and are easy to clean. You can find affordable ones at most stores. If you don't have one yet, even using a clean ceramic mug for morning water is better than an old plastic bottle. Second, try to fill your water fresh each morning. Even if you like to keep water by the bed, make it part of your routine to rinse the bottle or cup. Add clean water and avoid leaving it out for long periods in a warm room. Third, don't reuse single-use plastic bottles. The kind you get from the store, those are meant for one-time use. They degrade quickly and are not built to be safe for repeated use. This one small change, choosing a safer container and keeping your water fresh, can support your health in ways you might not even notice at first. It's not just about avoiding problems. It's about giving your body the cleanest, kindest start to the day. Because the truth is, our bodies are still listening. They're still responding, and they still deserve the best care we can give them, even in the smallest moments, like a sip of water. So tomorrow, take a look at your nightstand. Ask yourself, is my water fresh? Is my bottle safe? A 2-minute habit change could help you feel steadier, stronger, and more supported throughout the day. And now that we've talked about what your water goes in, next we'll talk about what your water goes with. Because mistake number 4 has to do with your stomach, your medications, and how your timing can make all the difference. Let's keep going. So far, we've talked about the temperature of your water, the speed at which you drink it, and even the kind of container you keep it in. Now let's shift the focus to something a bit more personal. Your routine with medication and how you drink water around it. Many older adults take medicine first thing in the morning. It's part of the daily rhythm. Wake up, take your pills, drink some water, then move on with the day. But what often goes unnoticed is how much water you drink, when you drink it, and what your stomach is, or isn't, ready for when you do. And that brings us to mistake number 4, drinking water on a very empty or very full stomach, especially after taking medication. It sounds like a small detail, but this timing can make a huge difference in how you feel throughout the day and how well your medication works. Let's start with the most common scenario: drinking a large amount of water on an empty stomach right after taking pills. At first, it may feel like the right thing to do. Your doctor says, take it with a full glass of water, and you follow the advice. But here's what many people don't realize. If your stomach is completely empty and you quickly drink a full glass of water after swallowing your pills, it can cause a wave of discomfort and sometimes more serious issues. Some people feel nausea. Others experience bloating, a burning sensation, or even dizziness or heart palpitations. It's not the medication itself, it's the combination of too much water, too fast on an empty stomach that triggers the reaction. Let me share a story about Margaret. She's 80 years old, very sharp, and has been taking thyroid medication for years. Every morning she'd follow the same routine: take her pill, drink a big glass of water, then wait 30 minutes before eating breakfast, just like she was told. But recently she began feeling queasy. Her stomach would twist, and her mornings felt off. She hadn't changed her medicine, diet, or activity. Her blood work was fine. So what was wrong? Her doctor eventually asked her about how she took her medication, not just what she took. And there it was. Margaret had been drinking an entire glass of water, cold and fast, immediately after taking her pill on an empty stomach. Her digestive system wasn't ready for it. The solution? Simple. She started using just enough water to swallow the pill, a few small sips. Then she waited the usual 30 to 45 minutes before having a light breakfast. Within a few days, her nausea disappeared, her energy returned, and she didn't have to change her medication at all. That's the power of small adjustments. Now let's talk about the opposite situation: taking medication right after eating a large breakfast and then drinking a lot of water on top of it. This can also cause problems. When your stomach is very full and you add a lot of water, especially if it's cold, you may experience bloating, acid reflux, or even poor absorption of your medicine. The body has to work harder to process everything at once, and medications that are meant to be taken on an empty stomach may not work properly. So what's the right balance? Start by listening to your body. If your medication is meant to be taken on an empty stomach, follow your doctor's instructions, but try to drink a small amount of water, not a full glass all at once. Give your body time to absorb the medicine. Wait 30 to 60 minutes before eating, depending on the advice for your specific medication. If your medication is to be taken with food, then eat a light, balanced meal and avoid drinking too much water at once afterward. Let your digestion work smoothly without overwhelming it with volume. It's also helpful to keep track of how you feel afterward. Are you getting queasy, feeling bloated or tired? If so, don't automatically blame your medication. Sometimes it's not what you take, it's how and when you take it that makes the difference. And if you're not sure what your medication requires, don't hesitate to ask your doctor or pharmacist. Every person's body is different, and one size doesn't fit all, especially as we age. Let's also take a moment to talk about hydration before or after certain procedures, like blood pressure checks or blood sugar testing. Drinking water too quickly before a reading may temporarily lower or raise numbers, giving a false sense of how your body is doing. So again, pace is important, timing is important, and so is understanding that your stomach and your medication need to be on the same page. As we get older, our digestion slows down a little, and the lining of the stomach becomes more sensitive. That's completely normal. But it does mean we need to treat our bodies with extra care, especially in those first moments of the day. So tomorrow morning, when you reach for your pills and your water, take a moment to ask, is my stomach ready? Do I need a few bites of food first? Am I drinking just enough to swallow the pill, not overwhelming my system? Should I wait a bit before eating to let the medicine work? These small check-ins can save you a lot of discomfort and help your medication work more effectively. It's not about adding more rules to your routine. It's about learning to work with your body, not against it. And when you find that rhythm, when water, medication, and timing all flow together, your mornings can feel smoother, more comfortable, and far less stressful. Now that we've talked about when and how to hydrate around medications, let's move on to the final part of our journey. Mistake number 5, a habit many people pick up in the name of health, but may actually be draining your energy instead of boosting it. Let's take a closer look. We've talked a lot about how water can support your health in the morning. If it's the right temperature, if you drink it slowly, from the right container, and at the right time with medications. But now we've come to mistake number 5, and it might be the most overlooked of them all. It's the habit of replacing breakfast with only water. It may sound healthy. Some people call it detoxing. Others say they're doing intermittent fasting. And while those ideas can work in certain situations, especially for younger adults or people under medical supervision, skipping breakfast and starting your day with just water can be surprisingly hard on the body as you get older. Let's break down why. When you wake up in the morning, your body has already been fasting for 8 to 10 hours. You haven't had any food or nutrients during that time. Your blood sugar is low, your energy reserves are drained, and your brain is waiting for fuel to get going. Water is important, of course. It helps rehydrate your cells and flush your system, but it doesn't provide energy. It doesn't contain protein, fiber, or healthy fats, the things your body and brain need to function well. So what happens if you skip breakfast and only drink water? At first, you might feel okay, maybe even lighter or more alert. But as the hours go by, your body starts looking for energy it doesn't have. You may notice feeling tired or sluggish by mid-morning, shakiness in the hands or legs, brain fog or forgetfulness, feeling moody or irritable for no clear reason, trouble concentrating or following conversations, a drop in blood pressure or even dizziness when standing up. These symptoms are often blamed on getting older, but many times they're just signs of low fuel. Let me tell you about Alice. She's 69, active, independent, and always trying to improve her habits. She started skipping breakfast after reading an article online about fasting. Each morning she drank water, then coffee, and waited until lunchtime to eat. At first she lost a little weight. That encouraged her to keep going. But after a few weeks, her daughter noticed Alice seemed forgetful. She was repeating stories, misplacing things, getting frustrated easily. Alice didn't feel sick, but she didn't feel like herself either. After a visit to her doctor and some gentle questions about her morning routine, they found the answer. She was underfueled. Alice's body and brain weren't getting the energy they needed to function. Once she added a simple breakfast, an egg, a slice of toast, and some fruit, her clarity returned. Her mood improved, and she felt steadier all day long. It wasn't about going back to big meals or heavy breakfasts. It was about giving her body just enough to start the day strong. So what kind of breakfast works best? The answer is simple, a small, balanced meal that includes something from these 3 groups. 1. I'll open something protein, like eggs, yogurt, tofu, or a handful of nuts. 2. Complex carbohydrates, like oatmeal, whole grain toast, or sweet potatoes. Fruits or vegetables, for fiber and natural vitamins. You don't need a big plate of food. Even a half bowl of oatmeal with banana slices or a slice of toast with peanut butter is a great start. And if you really don't feel hungry right away when you wake up, that's okay too. Try drinking a small glass of warm water first. Then eat your breakfast a little later in the morning once your body wakes up fully. What matters most is that you don't skip it altogether. Now let's talk about coffee. Many people drink coffee after their morning water, and there's nothing wrong with that in moderation. But drinking coffee on an empty stomach without food to go with it can make things worse. Coffee stimulates the digestive system. It tells your stomach to start producing acid, but if there's no food to digest, that acid can irritate your stomach lining. This can lead to heartburn, bloating, or that empty pit feeling in your gut. Plus, coffee is a diuretic. It makes you lose water. So if all you've had is water and coffee with no food, you might become even more dehydrated. even if you don't feel thirsty. So here's a gentle suggestion. Have your water, then eat something small, then enjoy your coffee. Your stomach will be happier, your brain more alert, and your energy more stable. Let's take a moment to shift our thinking. Eating in the morning isn't just about filling the stomach. It's about giving your body the tools it needs to function well. Think of breakfast like fuel for your engine. Without it, the car might still run, but it'll sputter, stall, and eventually stop. With just a little nourishment, something warm, something filling, something kind, your mornings can go from shaky to strong. And remember, you're not being tough or disciplined by skipping breakfast. You're not saving time. You're asking your body to run on empty. And over time, that can lead to more harm than good. So tomorrow, before you move on with your day, ask your own, have I had more than just water? What simple food could I give my body this morning? Can I start small, maybe a banana, a slice of toast, or a boiled egg? It's not about perfection. It's about supporting your health in small, meaningful ways. And that brings us to the end of our 5 gentle reminders about morning hydration. We've covered 1. Drinking water that's too cold, drinking too quickly, using unsafe plastic bottles, drinking at the wrong time with medication, and skipping breakfast entirely. Each one might seem small, but together they shape how you feel every day. So take a breath. Be proud of yourself for learning something new. You're not just drinking water, you're building a better morning, one thoughtful habit at a time. Thank you for being here. And if you're ready for a quick summary or a few final words, let's move there now. And there you have it. 5 small but powerful ways to make your morning hydration safer, gentler, and more supportive of your health as you age. You see, it's not about making big changes overnight. It's about listening to your body, respecting its rhythm, and giving it the care it needs, especially at the beginning of the day. A glass of warm water, a slower sip, a safer bottle, thoughtful timing, and a little breakfast. These are the kinds of habits that, over time, can bring more energy, more comfort, and more clarity to your mornings. If even one of today's tips spoke to you, if you found yourself thinking, maybe I should try that, then that's already a beautiful first step. Because every act of care, no matter how small, is an investment in your well-being. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more simple, honest health conversations just like this one, I'd love to invite you to subscribe to this channel. That way you won't miss any of the upcoming videos designed to support your health, your strength, and your peace of mind. Take care of yourself, drink gently, and I'll see you in the next video.